It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Foolish Show. Y'all know how we get down. We back on the air once again. We ain't going nowhere. We still here. Thank God we still alive. See another day. But I hope y'all doing good. Getting ready for 4th of July weekend. Hope everybody's blessed, staying safe, staying out the way. That's what it's all about. Enjoying life to the fullest. Enjoying everybody around you. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy each other while we're here. Well, we're going to have another great positive podcast tonight, folks. So I hope y'all ready. Y'all know I give it to you real. No sugarcoating. No none of that. We don't come to play. We'll give everybody a little time to check in. Let me make sure we got everybody, everything locked in. If we got everything locked in, then we gonna get it. We good. So y'all give me a second. Let's get everything locked in. Make sure we live streaming. Let's make sure we live. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, man. Everybody, we live streaming right now on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So if y'all tuning in on any one of those platforms, I appreciate the love and support. Shout out to everybody that's constantly checking in, man, that's in the live chat. Don't be afraid to join in the conversation. But tonight's topic, we're talking about anger management. Because y'all know how a lot of us is. A lot of us got a hot temper. And we pop off in a minute. And we don't think about our actions. So we're going to get into that. Anger management. How do you deal with your anger? Do you lash out? Do you crash out? Or do you let things just calm down and sit and analyze everything? A lot of us, we don't just take the time to breathe. We just quick to react and go off. You hear what I say? We, because I'm included. I try to work on that all the time. But we're going to get this party started, so I want y'all to let that marinate. Tonight's topic, anger management. I'll be right back. Well, we're about to get this party started, folks. Landman checking in. I see you. Big boys, I see you. Bella, I see you. Muhammad, I see you. Y'all come on in and check in. Check in. We live on the Foolish Show podcast tonight. Tonight's topic is anger management. Because y'all know how some of us get. Y'all know how we get mad and we lose it. So how do you deal with your anger? How do y'all deal with y'all issues? You know, a lot of us, man, we quick to pop off. Hughes is him checking in. Bella checking in. Landman, I see you. Big Buzz. I'm trying to make sure I ain't missing nobody. Y'all jump in the live chat. Tonight's topic, how do you deal with your anger? Anger management. Being able to analyze the situation. Y'all excuse me. Gotta clear my throat. Gotta drink a little water. Trying to be a day one for small YouTubers. I see you, Hughes. But tonight's topic, we're talking about anger management. How do y'all deal with y'all anger? When y'all going through things, when you're dealing with issues. Do you pop off? Do you lose your mind? Do you just go off on everybody and anybody? We have to find different ways to deal with our anger. Some people handle it better than others. Some people are ready to crash out. Other people, they'll walk away and just let it be. A lot of people don't like that drama and going back and forth. All that hooping and hollering. Everybody ain't with that. You got some people that live for that. So how do you deal with your anger? When you get upset, when you get in your feelings, how do you react? Hughes is him says, I lose control a little, but I handle it. See, that's the thing. It's all right to get upset. That's human nature. But you can't go off on the deep end. And a lot of times it ain't worth it. Sometimes we got to sit and analyze what's going on in front of us before we jump off the cliff. You better make sure it's worth it if you're going to crash out. If you're going to throw your life away. Hughes is him says, I also hope. Oh, I also hoop when I'm angry. See, that's what I was saying. There's different ways of different people dealing with their anger issues. Hughes is him says, he play basketball. He gonna sweat it off and run it off. Other people read books. Some people might sit down and listen to music and relax and get their mind on what they're going through. It's different ways of dealing with anger. It's different ways of dealing with your problems. So we're talking about anger management. How do you deal with your anger when somebody gets you upset? Do you just quit to go off and snap? Or do you think about, this ain't worth it? See, sometimes it's hard to be the bigger person. And this is something that I be working on myself. Because when somebody get under your skin and get you upset, of course you want to retaliate and give them the same energy that they're giving you. But I've been trying to work on being a bigger person. Sometimes we gotta learn to walk away. If it ain't to a certain level, if it ain't a cold red, we gotta learn to let go and let live. Keep it moving. You can't dwell on nonsense. Life is too short to get caught up in nonsense. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. You don't want to shorten it in your life before you have to. Hughes is him says, I gotta go. I have a great night. I'll be back another day. I appreciate you. But it's different ways of dealing with your anger. A lot of times our first reaction ain't the best reaction. Because when you're emotional, when you're already mad, you're not going to act in a great way. You're not going to react properly. You're going to end up probably going off. Because that person already got under your skin. Excuse me, y'all. Let me drink some water. But how do you react when things don't go your way? How do you react? Somebody call you names. Talk about your kids. Talk about your mama and daddy. Do you crash out? Do you be the bigger person? I say be the bigger person. If they ain't doing that physically to harm them, you got to let words bounce off you. Because it's only what you answer to. You can't give that fire no fuel. So we got to learn to be the bigger person. When we're going through things and we get upset, because our first reaction, we're going to be upset. You're going to want to go off and speak your mind. You want to tell somebody about themselves, where to go and how to get there. You're going to say all type of names and things when you're upset. And a lot of times when we're upset, we say a lot of things and do a lot of things that we don't mean. Then when you have time to think about it, you're like, man, I shouldn't have did all that. I shouldn't even said all that. Because I do that all the time. I say things that I feel like I done took it too far. I ain't had to take it that far. What about y'all that's out there watching and listening? Have you been in a situation where you felt like you done took it too far, that you could have handled a situation in a better way? You could have been a bigger person and walked away instead of lashing out and calling this person all these things and probably telling all their dirt. A lot of times we get mad and tell each other dirt when we upset. The things that these people don't share with you that they thought was confidential, you telling everything now because you mad and in your feelings. A lot of us get that way. That's human nature to try to get even. But how do you deal with your anger? When y'all going through problems or when life is getting to you, what do you do? It's different ways of dealing with your anger. You can handle it aggressively or you can handle it calmly. Some people is calm and cool. They know how to walk away from situations. They know how to de-escalate the situation. Some people live for drama. Some people want that rah-rah, all that screaming and hollering and fussing. Some people get off on that. How do you deal with your anger? Tonight's topic is anger management. Because we have to learn how to deal with our anger. Because our actions can have an impact on a lot of things. It can have an impact on your life and the ones around you. If you act out and crash out and you got kids, now you're taking a mother or their father away because you in your feelings. You don't got caught up in the moment. We have to find a way to be the bigger person in different situations. Because dealing with anger, as soon as we get upset, we ready to fight and cuss everybody out. That's a lot of us. And 9 times out of 10, that makes the situation worse because we just throwing gasoline on the fire. We got to learn how to control our emotions in a better way. Because all it takes is one mistake and you can throw your whole life away. You do something drastic, you can end up in jail or in prison. Now your kids don't have a dad or a father or an uncle or a cousin or a brother or a sister. Because you got caught up in your feelings and in your emotions. All it takes is one mistake. You can throw your whole life away. Be careful what you do and what you say and how you treat people. Same energy you put in the universe, same energy you're going to get in return. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. So you got to be careful how you treat people. We get in our feelings and we try to hurt people's feelings. A lot of times, people break down and cry for the things that we say to them. It depends how deep that you go. It depends on what you say. Some people don't take it well. Some people are more emotional than others. Some people don't let things bother them. Some people let everything bother them. Everybody don't react in the same way in every situation. But how do you deal with your anger? When somebody gets under your skin, when things don't go your way, do you throw a hissy fit? Do you act like a little 10-year-old when you don't get your way? There's a lot of grown people that still throw fits when they don't get their way, like you in elementary school. I've seen a lot of women lose their mind when they don't get their way. It's a lot of men getting their feelings when they don't get their way. And we got to understand that everything ain't gonna always go our way. How you deal with your anger starts with you. Tonight, we're talking about anger management. How we deal with different situations. How do you deal when somebody gets you upset? Do you lash out? Do you crash out? Or do you calm down and walk away? Different people react in different ways. Everybody don't react the same. It depends on the person. It depends on where they mind at, what they're going through, where they're at in life. Sometimes people's already on the edge dealing with things in their personal life, and all it takes is a little thing to set them off. That's why we got to be careful what we say to people, how we treat people, because you could trigger a person that's already on the edge, already on the break of losing. So if everybody angry and upset, how you think that situation going to end up? It's not going to be a positive outcome. When everybody mad and upset, there's going to be a lot of fighting and hollering. People going to jail or somebody losing their life. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth you throwing your life away just because you're mad in that moment? Is it worth you not seeing your kids again because you're mad in that moment? These are the things you have to ask yourself. No matter what they say about you, you can't let people dictate your happiness. When you allow people words to get to you and get under your skin, now you letting them control your life. You can't live for other people. You got to live for yourself. Don't live for these people on earth approval. You got to live for God approval. Is God happy with you? Is you making God happy? Forget your peers. God has more power than anything. Your peers are human beings like you. They are flesh and blood that one day going to die. And their body going to turn to dust. And that's all of us. So when you think about it, you got to enjoy life and don't take it for granted. Don't act like you're going to always be here. You don't have to always be here. God is blessing you by letting you still breathe and see another day. But while you're here, you got to be careful how you act. You can't let the anger in you get the best of you. Don't let the devil win. Don't push yourself over the edge when it ain't worth it. A lot of times we get in our feelings and get mad over petty stuff that we could just walk away from. Some things at the end of the day, we got to realize it ain't worth it. It ain't worth your life, your time, or your energy. You see it all the time when people go back and forth on the internet. I ain't got time for it. It's not worth my energy. We trying to make a living. We trying to make sure the bills paid and enjoy life. All that bickering, going back and forth, lashing out, being mad, being upset, saying all the cuss words you can say. What are you really accomplished? How you going to solve the problems that you're going through when you're dealing with your anger like that? You got to find a better way to deal with your emotions. We know everybody go through things. Sometimes people be suffering. And sometimes we have people that's going through mental depression. They're not mentally stable. They done seen and been around so many things in their life that they don't know which way to go. And we have to pray for people like that. The mental health people. Sometimes people really can't help it. The way they act. But if we can help it, at the end of the day, you was raised and somebody taught you right from wrong. You know right from wrong. Either grandma, mama, or somebody, great grandma, uncle, somebody taught you right from wrong. So you know what you're doing is wrong or right. You know if you act in a certain way that you're supposed to act. Excuse me. As my mama say back in the day, that big one, know better. So if you old enough, you know better. You know what you're doing. So there's no excuse to act a certain way, for us to carry ourselves a certain way. The older you get, the more mature you're supposed to get, and you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. It's all about growing. You have to grow as a person. You have to evolve. You don't want to just stay the same. You don't want to live the same crazy life until you die. There come a point where we all got to change, and we got to try to repent so we can go to heaven. You can't be that stubborn, and we can't be stuck in our ways and say, well, this is just me. This is just how I am. You don't want to die a sinner. That's why we got to work on how we act right now. Right now, at this moment, you got to think about how you dealing with your anger. How you dealing with your problems. Are you dealing with your problems in the right way? Or is it a better way that you can handle it? Is a better way for you to deal with what you're going through? A lot of times we stubborn and we stuck in our ways and we don't want to change. You just want to remain the same and say, this me, you got to take it. This is what you get. But that's not being smart. That's not being mature. We got to be mature enough to say, you know what, man? It's time for me to stop doing this and that and this. It's time for me to start acting like this and that. That's how you evolve and grow and mature as you get older. We have to learn to deal with our problems in a certain way and deal with our anger in a better way. Because our first reaction, most of the time, is the worst reaction. Because as soon as you react when you're mad, it's not going to be a good reaction. You might do or say something that you end up regretting. Do y'all hear what I'm telling you? So the way we deal with our anger, it goes a long way. And it could save your life. Because if you got a short temper and you go off on the wrong person, and what if that wrong person gets a gun and shoot and kill you? You could have still been living on this earth if you wouldn't let your anger get the best of you. That's why we got to learn how to deal with certain situations. Sometimes it's better to just walk away. Sometimes it's better to say, hey, it is what it is. I ain't sweating it. I ain't thinking about it. That's what you got to tell yourself. Because the goal is to always try to make it to live to see another day. You already don't know when your time to go. Why you want to rush it? You could be able to see 60, 70, or 80, but you let your anger get the best of you. And you'll end up going to an early grave. Just for you losing your temper. Acting a fool. When you shouldn't be acting a fool. Trying to prove a point. Try to prove that you don't play. That you hard. You tough. Those are things that end up costing you your whole life. By making bad mistakes. Reacting in a bad way. Can get your whole life taken, folks. This is why we got to learn how to deal with our anger. We will allow our anger to get the best of us. And sometimes our reaction be uncalled for. We say and do a lot of things we don't mean when we're upset. When you're upset, you don't really think about the things that's coming out of your mouth or what you're doing. You just reacting. We don't stop and think, is this the best way for me to handle this? We get so riled up and caught up in the moment, and you're so hot. Oh, I'm gonna kill somebody. When you should have just got in the car and drove away or walked away. There's a different situations that we gotta learn how to handle better. So when dealing with your anger, it starts with you. Find a way that's best for you to deal with your anger. I don't care if it's read a book, listen to music, count numbers, look in the sky, whatever floats your boat. But find a way to let your anger out where it's okay, where you're not really hurting or affecting nobody. Because when you lash out at people or when you attack somebody when you're angry, now look at all the stuff that you done created that you got to try to undo now because you was mad and upset. Look at all the stuff you done did because you was in your feelings. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? So anger management is big. Learn how to deal with your anger. Learn how to deal with your problems in the right way. Because we never know what's going to happen. You lashing out, getting mad in your feelings at the wrong time or going off on the wrong person could cost you your life. Because some people might be crazier than you. They might have a short temper than you and quick to blow a fuse and pop off. Because we all get caught up and get upset in the moment. And most of the time, we don't handle it the right way. Because we be mad, we be upset, like they tried me. We let our anger get the best of us. And it don't be a good outcome all the time. Because our first reaction ain't the best reaction. We don't take the time to say, you know what, hold on. Let me think about this. Let me just walk away. Let me go to the house. Let me go home. Let me just keep it moving. A lot of people want to prove a point, want to act out, act a fool, and it don't end up good. You might end up dead or in jail. But I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know if people nowadays is just trying to get attention. You want to go viral. Want everybody to look at you. But acting a fool is the cool thing to do now. Lash out. Disrespect people. Start up controversy. He say, she say. That's the new wave now. Everybody get caught up in the gossip and the negativity. Then everybody get angry. Then you got people upset. Now everybody arguing on the internet. Everybody going live, cussing each other out. Everybody making a post, talk about one another. You got to find better ways to deal with your anger. A lot of times we quick to lash out as soon as we get mad. We going off. We about to hurt somebody's feelings. You going to threaten somebody. They got to put some respect on your name. But it's all about being smart, folks. And you don't live to see an old age by being dumb. You got to be smart. You got to watch the way you move, the way you live, how you act. All that goes a long way in life. Because karma is real. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around, and it'll come right back to your own front door. So understand, when dealing with anger, take the time to think about it. Think before you react. Because the reaction might cost you a lot of stuff. It might cost you your freedom. It might cost you your life. It might cost you your family. It might cost you your job. We have to think before we react. Because that one action can have bad consequences. We don't think about it when we're upset. We just mad and caught up in the moment. We just want our way. We ain't hearing nothing. Some people, when they get mad, you can't calm them down. They ain't hearing nothing. They zoned out. They're on a rampage. Then when they calm down and then you talk to them, they be like, I'm good, I'm all right. Because now they don't calm down and cool down. Sometimes you just got to cool down, calm down. Stop getting your pressure up. Relax. Find a different way to handle your anger. Go chew some gum. Go take a jog. Go lift some weights. Go exercise. Or somebody said in the live chat earlier, they go play basketball. There's different ways to handle your anger than to just go off or just attack somebody. It's nothing wrong with being mad because we're human. Of course, we all get mad. We all get upset. It's always something that'll piss you off. Somebody might say something you don't like. Somebody might do something that you don't like. But our reaction is everything. How do you react when negativity comes your way? How do you deal with that kind of stuff that comes in your life? A lot of people don't know how to cope with problems. So they handle it in a bad way. They start lashing out and hurting all the people around them. They start taking their anger out on everybody that's around them. Now you're hurting the people that you so-called supposed to love because you're letting your anger get the best of you. You want to take the time to breathe and calm down. Just calm down for a second. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? But this is how I give it to you. I give it to you real. I feed your mind, body, and soul. That's how we do it on this podcast. Straight reality talk. Because everybody deal with anger. Who don't get upset? Who ain't get mad and act crazy every now and then? Somebody at your job, somebody in your family, somebody in your house done made you just snap. We all been there and done that. Somebody doing it right now as we speak. There's somebody angry and upset and losing their mind and acting a fool right now. It's part of human nature. But you got to watch what you do. You got to watch what you say. Because you don't want them couple of minutes, a couple of seconds to come back to bite you in the worst way. You don't want it to tear your whole life down and tear your whole life apart. All because you was mad in that moment. Now you done threw everything away. Because you was in your feelings. How many of y'all been in that situation? When you've been mad and upset and you let something get the best of you. You wake up the next day and it's still on your mind. A week go by and it's still on your mind. We gotta let that anger go. You can't keep carrying around that baggage. You can't keep carrying that load. My grandma used to tell us, you gotta let go and let God. You gotta put it in God's hands. We gotta learn to let God fight our battles. We can't fight everybody. You gotta pray for your enemies. If they're against you, pray for them. You don't have to lash out and attack them. Two wrongs don't make a right. So if they're wrong and then we do wrong, that don't make right. We have the mentality as people, we want to get even. Or just like me, I be wanting to get the last word in. I gotta have the last word. And I've been trying to work on these things. Because sometimes you just gotta let things be. Just let it go. It ain't worth it. Especially if it ain't something major. If nobody ain't causing no real harm or threat to your life, we gotta learn to let it go. Walk away. What we so upset for? So what if somebody called you a name? So what if somebody rolled their eyes at you? So what if somebody said something about your kids? Did they touch them? Did they try to harm them? If not, we gotta keep it moving. We know you get upset. We know you mad. But you don't want that madness to turn into tragedy. You gotta know your limits. You gotta know how far to take it. You gotta know when not to cross the line. You gotta know when to walk away. You gotta come back to yourself. Sometimes we get outside our body. When we mad, we just lose it. Some people just blank out. I don't see people just go from 0 to 100 real quick. They just blank out and lose it. And ain't no calming them down. Ain't no compromising with them when they right there in that moment upset. It's a lot of people like that in this world. We got to learn how to control our anger. We got to deal with our emotions in a better way. Because it can come back to bite you. It can come back to harm you. And you can harm the people around you by the way you acting. When you get in your feelings, you don't know how to act. You want to hurt everybody else's feelings because you mad. You want to tear everybody else down because you upset. That's not the way we should handle our anger. It's different ways that you can let your anger out when you're not affecting nobody. Some people go read a book. Some people go to therapy. Some people take medication. Some people go for a walk. Some people go for a drive. Some people go walk on the beach. Whatever you got to do to release that pressure, let it out and keep it moving. That's what it's all about. But make sure y'all check me out every Friday night, man. The podcast is on the radio every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check the Foolish Show podcast out on socialradio.com and the block 105.com. Check me out on those two stations every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 365live.com. That's an internet radio station that's 24 hours a day, nonstop. They have different podcasts, different DJ shows. They have everything going on. So y'all make sure y'all check out live365.com and tune into those stations and check out the Foolish Show. You know how I give it to you real. This is real life. Ain't like I'm sitting up here making things up. We all deal with anger. We all get mad. We all don't let something bother us or get under your skin. You don't let what somebody said cause you not to sleep good. You don't let what somebody said got you that you want to attack that person. You want to do physical harm to that person. We all go through those things because you're human. That's human nature to get mad. But we got to learn how to not cross the line. Don't take it too far. Understand that you got to know your limit. Because certain things is just not worth it. Certain things is not worth you throwing your life away just because you're upset. You don't want to get mad and kill somebody and throw your life away. You don't want to really hurt nobody where now your freedom is taken away from you. Or you don't want to get so upset till you get somebody else upset to where they want to take your life. Just think about how life goes. You can't think you're going to go around lashing out, being mad, and snapping on everybody, and good things going to come to you. You asking for it. Something bad is bound to happen because you asking for it. You begging for it. You inviting negativity to come on in. You inviting all that bad stuff to come in your life. But because you're carrying around all that negative energy. You carrying around all that anger, letting it ball up in you till you explode. Find a way to get that anger out, but in the right way. You can get it out your system, but just get it out in the right way. There's different ways people handling their anger. There's different ways of dealing with different things. Issues and things gonna always pop up. Some things we can control, some things we can't. Some things gonna make you happy, some things gonna make you sad. Some things gonna make you upset, some things gonna bring you joy. We just gotta learn. We gotta take the good with the bad while you living. Because some things just ain't worth it. Some things ain't worth you crashing out and being upset about. Being so angry. Then you walk around with all that anger. You keep carrying all that burden on your heart. For what? We gotta learn to let it go. That's why tonight's topic, we're talking about anger management. How do you deal with your anger? What is your remedy? What is your recipe? Do you go off on people? Or do you just walk away? Or when you're mad, do you do things to take your mind off it? Maybe you go for a jog. Maybe you ride a bicycle. Maybe you write in your journal. Some people go vent on the internet. What do you do when you get upset? How do you control your anger? How do you stop yourself from not going all the way in, not going too far, not crossing that line of no return? How do you handle when you're upset? Is the first thing acting a fool? Acting wild? Causing a scene? Is that the first thing you do? How do you handle your anger when you're upset? Do you let your anger get the best of you to where you can't even sleep at night? To when you walk around mad? That's a lot of burden to be carrying around. We gotta learn to let it go. Find different ways of dealing with your anger. You can release that pressure, but just release it in the right way. You don't want to really attack nobody or harm nobody just because you're upset. Because they always say, hurt people hurt people. So when you're mad, a lot of times people get mad and just want to attack the world. They act like the world done did something to them. Everybody they see, they got a smart comment. They rolling their eyes, sucking their teeth. Now you asking for conflict. You asking for problems. Because you can't control your anger. So how do y'all control y'all anger? How do you control your emotions? How do you know not to cross that line? Not giving something that much power to get you that mad. You can't give something that much power that's going to push you over the edge to get you to risk your freedom or your life. We have to find self-control. Even though we're upset, even though you is fire hot, red mad, blood pressure probably through the roof. Still got to find a way to release that pressure in the right way. Because all you're going to do is cause chaos around you if you react while you're so angry. All you're going to do is hurt the ones around you when you get caught up in your anger. When you're in your feelings, a lot of people don't care what they say or who they say it to. And we say a lot of things we don't mean when we're mad. And later on, when you think about it, you regret it. You wish you could take everything back. That's why we have to think before we react. So when you get upset, we got to pause for a moment and we got to think. Because when you're mad, you just snap just like that. Think before you react. Make sure you handle things in the right way. You don't want to escalate things. You don't want things to be worse than what it is. You don't want to blow the situation up. Sometimes it's best to just walk away and just let it go. A lot of stuff ain't even worth our time and energy, but we give it our time and energy. We entertain it. We get caught up in it. You get caught up in what somebody think about you, say about you. People gonna always throw stones while you living. Somebody gonna have something to say, whether it's good or bad. But you don't live for that. You live your own life. You be you. But you gotta put God first. Let God be the first thing in your life, and you don't have to worry about all that other nonsense. It won't even matter. Because people gonna always talk about you one way or another, whether it's good or bad. Somebody gonna have a comment on what you're doing, what kind of parent you is, what kind of work you do at your job. Some people might think you're lazy. Some people might say you're a good worker. But somebody gonna always have something to say. So how do you deal with your anger when things don't go your way? Or when somebody do something or say something that you don't like? What is your first reaction? Are you gonna cuss them out? Scream to the top of your lungs? You gonna throw something at them? You gonna go attack them? You gonna fight them? What you gonna do? Now you so upset. How are you gonna react? Are you gonna let your emotions get the best of you and let it throw you off? Erica, I see your comment. But tonight's topic is anger management. How do y'all deal with y'all anger? Do you let everything get the best of you? Do you just lose your mind? Do you just lash out and act a fool and cause a commotion? Some people know how to walk away. Some people don't. Some people love that chaos. Some people say, I'm about that life. They about all that hooping and hollering and cussing and fussing. But one thing you can't do is don't let your anger get the best of you when you make a bad decision, when you throw your whole life away. Just because you're mad, you're in your feelings at that moment, you don't throw your whole life away now. Just because you're upset. Think about it. We all done been there and done that. Where you done got so upset, where your mouth would turn into a machine gun. You don't care what come out your mouth. You don't care what you say, because you mad. We don't care who feelings we hurt when we mad. We don't care how it come out, because we in our feelings, which is human nature. It's human nature to get upset. Of course, you ain't gonna be happy, happy, joy, joy, 24 hours a day. But we just gotta find a way to release our anger where it's not gonna have a bad effect on others around us, or do something that you're gonna live to regret. A lot of times, people don't did something they regret because they was mad. That's why it's important for us to control our anger. You gotta have a limit. You gotta know how to pump the brakes. It's okay to be mad, but have a limit. Don't take it too far, because now you start to affect everybody around you. Because if you get so mad, you crash out and go to jail, and you got kids. Now your kids ain't got no parent no more. Now your wife ain't got no husband, or your husband ain't got no wife. So not only you're affecting your life, you're affecting the ones around you. Not in a positive way, in a negative way, because you mad and you in your feelings. We gotta learn how to deal with our feelings in a better way. Very true. Erica says, I vent to you. Everybody needs somebody to vent to. However you deal with it. Some people read a book. Some people go for a walk. Some people hit the gym. Whatever you got to do to blow that steam off, to deal with your anger and manage your anger in the right way, do what you got to do. Whatever you got to do what you got to do. Just make sure you don't get so caught up in that one moment where you end up doing something that you're going to regret, or something going to come out your mouth that you're going to think about it later, and you're going to say, why did I say that? I shouldn't even said that. I shouldn't even took it that far. I shouldn't even let that stuff come out my mouth. There's a lot of times where I did that, where I think about it, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that. I wish I could take it back. I shouldn't have took it that far. I let somebody get me so mad that I said things that I shouldn't have said, and I really didn't mean. But I was so caught up in my emotions and in my feelings that I wanted to get the last word, and I feel like I want to be on top. And that's the deal with a lot of us. We want to get the last say, and we want to be on top, and we want to feel like, well, I got the best of you. But we got to learn how to be the bigger person. I got to learn to walk away. I got to learn, even though these people doing things or saying things I don't like, I got to learn how to be the bigger person and walk away. That's what we all got to learn to do. Everything ain't worth our time and energy. Don't give certain things your time and energy when it ain't worth it. Is it worth it? You let these people get you so mad that it mess up your whole day. Now you can't function. You can't take care of your house. You can't eat because you got all that anger boiling up and built up inside. Now you letting them people affect your happiness. Learn how to release that anger. Don't walk around with all that baggage. You got to release that burden. You got to get that off your shoulders. Find a way to deal with your anger in a way where it can end up maybe being positive. Turn that negative into a positive. That's what I say. That's what we got to learn to do. You got to look at positive things in life. Even if you're mad at that moment, tomorrow might be better. An hour might go by where you might be smiling and giggling. We got to learn how to relax and pump the brakes when you're dealing with your anger. Because our first reaction, that's going to be the worst one. Because we just caught up in the moment. When you caught up in the moment, most of the time we don't care what we do. A lot of us, we just blank out. And we go in. And some of us go in hard. We don't care about nobody's feelings or nothing. I don't care if it make you cry. I don't care. When we upset, we get in that I don't care mode. You ain't care about nobody else's feelings. Or how hurt they gonna be for what the stuff you gonna say. Because you mad. If you mad, you want everybody else to be mad. Misery loves company. I don't want you kiki and happy over there. If I'm over here mad, I'm gonna say something to get you mad. I'm gonna get you out of your character. So that's the big thing tonight, folks. Anger management, dealing with our anger, but dealing with your anger in a positive way where you're not going to affect everybody around you. Of course you're going to get mad. Of course somebody going to do something to piss you off one day. Of course something going to happen that you ain't going to like. But how you going to deal with it? If you get upset, that's one thing, but how you dealing with your anger? Are you going to crash out and throw your life away and do something to go to jail? Are you going to do something that's going to take you away from your family and your kids? Or are you going to do something where you're going to take food out your mouth where you're going to lose your job? How far are you going to let your anger take you? How are you going to react when things don't go your way? And that's going to happen a lot in life. Things ain't going to always go how we want it to. We got to deal with the good and the bad. You got to take the ups and the downs. That's how life works. It's a roller coaster. You'll be up one day and down tomorrow. But be grateful if you wake up and you see another day. So the message tonight, folks, is we got to learn how to deal with our anger. I said we all. I'm included. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws and things that we can work on. I don't care how old you is. Don't tell me your age. You can be 60. It's still something you can learn and work on. As long as you're living, it's a lesson that you can learn. But learn how to deal with your anger in the right way. Not allowing people to steal your peace and your joy. Sometimes people be mad and they want to get you mad. So now they're going to take away your joy and your happiness and pull you out of your element. Some things we can't entertain. Some things we just can't feed into it. We can't let it get the best of you. We got to learn how to walk away. We got to learn to deal with things accordingly. Some things ain't worth it. It's a limit to how far you want to go. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? Are you listening to what I'm dishing? So anger management. Think before you react. Our first reaction will get us in a lot of trouble. Sometimes we got to think about it. Just walk away. Then you'll realize this ain't worth it. Or I ain't going to let this bother me. That's petty. Some things be so petty that we can just walk away from. You ain't even got to entertain it. You don't even have to give it your energy. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? Learn how to deal with your anger. Learn how to deal when things don't go your way or somebody do something that you don't like. If they're not physically trying to harm you, don't let it get you that upset and spoil your happiness. Because the devil is always busy. It's going to always try to steal your joy. It's up to you to let him in or not. It's up to you to allow that to happen. But I appreciate y'all, man. We had another great positive podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel if you ain't already. YouTube channel is Reality Music Entertainment. Go hit that subscription button, man. Sub to the channel. Make sure you like and thumbs up, man, these podcasts so we can get the messages out. Because you know I'm going to feed your mind, body, and soul every time you come on here. I appreciate all the love and support. Appreciate everybody that checked in the live chat. Make sure y'all check me out every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time on socialradio.com and the block105.com. Every Friday, folks. But I appreciate y'all, man. We had another great show. And remember, think before you react. Learn how to control your anger and try to live a positive life. See y'all next time, man. One love.